It's all eyes on the Judicial Service Commission as it embarks on the critical yet sensitive process of picking 3 top judges. 14 applications have been received for the Chief Justice's position, while 14 women and 1 man have thrown their hats in the ring to succeed former Deputy Chief Justice Kalpana Rawal. 20 have applied to fill retired Supreme Court Judge Philip Tunoi's slot. The Judicial Service Commission now has its work cut out.
Whoever is going to be appointed head must be someone who is not just known, but somebody who is seen to be a person of significant, unquestionable integrity.
And one of the things that has to come into play, for instance, is the gender equation and also the ethnic and regional balance of the court.
6 serving judges are in the race to succeed their former boss, while the other applicants are coming from the world of academia, civil society and general legal practice.
Of course, the judges who are sitting in the Supreme Court and the High Court and the Court of Appeal are all insiders. They also have their strengths. Then there are the outsiders, the people who are coming in, especially with backgrounds from civil society. There is also that particular consideration to have. And I believe ultimately that what will triumph will not be the interest of any of these forces, but the interest of the JSC itself.
In fact, I would say that when you come to the top 2, in an ideal world, you'd have a mix, so that you have someone from the judiciary and someone from the outside. That way you continue to cross-pollinate the judiciary.
Camps are already coalescing around the applicants, with some candidates being touted as front-runners in the Mutunga succession contest. Dr. Smoky Wanjala, a Supreme Court judge and a member of the Judicial Service Commission, is seen to have a head start as he comes before his peers who will nominate the next Chief Justice. Wanjala had, with Dr. Mutunga and Mohammed Ibrahim, recused themselves from the Rawal Tunoi retirement age petition last month, citing perceived bias and conflict of interest, and technically knocked out a case that would have plunged the Supreme Court into a crisis.
Does that bias still apply when the Judicial Service Commission this time round is the one sitting in a matter in which he is essentially the party that has come before it looking to get this particular position?
High Court Judge Mbogoli Msaga is said to be the establishment's preferred candidate to succeed Mutunga. Legal scholar Professor Makao Mutua has the backing of the civil society and is claimed to be an ally of the opposition team CORD. It's such political pressure and influence that JSC has to contend with as it picks the next Chief Justice from a list of 14 applicants.
It really won't matter much, because inevitably whoever you appoint will probably have been pushed by somebody or the other. It is very difficult in a situation like this to find somebody who nobody is pushing for. So I don't think that I would be so concerned about whose candidate is this. I would be more concerned to ensure that whoever that is, they meet certain key qualities in terms of competence, integrity, character.
JSC initially had 11 members. With the retirement of Dr. Mutunga, the team has further been reduced since Dr. Wanjala cannot sit in the determination of a matter he has a direct interest in. 4 of the JSC members, Attorney General Professor Githu Muigai, Public Service Commission Chair Margaret Kobia, Winnie Guchu and Kimgetich Bet are direct government appointees. The other members represent the Court of Appeal and High Court, the Law Society of Kenya and the Magistrates Body.
It is something that cannot be wished away, that there are those who would want, of course, as the executive, to have pliable characters becoming Chief Justice so that they can serve their interests there.
As much as possible, you would want at that level, at President of the head, someone who is not very strongly identified with any of the competing political factions.
The Deputy Chief Justice's contest is almost an all-female race, with David Maure Wahiga the only male candidate, while 20 applicants will square it out to fill Tunoi's slot at the Supreme Court. Francis Gashuri, Sunday Live.